Crimson Desert wasn't supposed to look anything like the game we're seeing today. If you only watched the trailers, you'd think Pearl Abyss set out to make this giant open world, next-gen RPG from day one. But that's not even close to what actually happened. The first version of Crimson Desert was a completely different game. Different genre, different story, different everything. And the reason they threw all of it out and rebuilt the entire project was kind of interesting. Real quick, I'm trying to hit a goal of 50 subs before June. If you like this video and want similar content where we look at forgotten game developments and prototypes, please consider subscribing. Thanks. Okay, let's start with the fun part. Crimson Desert began as an MMO, not an action RPG, not a single player story, a full-on online multiplayer game. And not only that, it wasn't even meant to stand on its own. Originally, it was created as a prequel to Pearl Abyss's other game, Black Desert. For those who don't know, Black Desert is a huge open-world MMO RPG known for its fast combat, massive scale, and some of the best character animations in the genre. So basically, it's the same universe, earlier timeline, but way smaller in scope. The early pitch went something like this. A gritty survival-focused online world where players lead a band of mercenaries, fought for territory, and struggled to survive against other players in harsh environments. Combat was slower, animations were more basic, the world was larger, but empty compared to what we see now. If we saw those early builds today, we probably wouldn't recognize them as Crimson Desert. So what caused the change in direction? Issues did, and they showed up fast. Problem 1. The game looked and played way too much like Black Desert. So why wouldn't players just stick to the original game? Problem 2, the team couldn't agree on direction. Some devs wanted hardcore survival mechanics, while others wanted large-scale PvP, and even others were pushing for more story-driven content. It was basically 3 different games fighting over the same name. The third problem, their engine, which is incredible for visuals, hated large MMO systems. They could build beautiful scenery, but keeping hundreds of players synced in real time was a challenge, and the engine wasn't having it. And then came the biggest issue in the room. Nobody on the team was excited about the game they were building. That's a death sentence for any project. If the developers aren't into it, the players definitely won't be. So Pearl Abyss stopped development and rebooted the entire thing. This is where Crimson Desert becomes the game people recognize today. When they scrapped the MMO concept, the team asked a simple question. What do we actually want to make? A story-first, character-driven RPG? Something that's emotional? Something that's cinematic? Something focused on a single character instead of thousands? Or in the case of Crimson Desert, I guess there's 3 characters? They kept the world and the desert setting, but almost everything else got rebuilt. New protagonists, new lore, a new gameplay loop, and new combat. The MMO mechanics were torn out, and in their place came physics-based combat, big boss fights, and a more next-gen approach. Instead of competing with other MMOs, they shifted towards competing with games like Assassin's Creed and The Witcher 3, but with their own identity intact. And that shift is when the project finally started gaining momentum. You can see the shift just by watching the newer trailers. The combat is fast, weighty, and sometimes completely insane, in a good way. They're using physics to create cinematic moments, like grabbing enemies, launching them across rooms, swinging from ropes, and chaining aerial attacks. The world feels way more alive than the MMO version. Animals reacting to the player, NPCs with routines, huge crowds, destructible environments, all built around the idea that you are the center of the story. You could tell that the devs had way more fun with this direction. There's a confidence in the modern gameplay footage that was absent in the previous trailers. It finally looks like the game has an identity. It's 2026, so of course the internet immediately split into 2 groups when the big trailer hit. You have the fanboy group, they're saying things like, this game is insane, this is next gen, I need this right now. And you have group 2, what I like to call the Squidwards. They're saying things like, no way is this gameplay real, here come the microtransactions. By the way, check out my video on the evil origins of microtransactions. A shameless plug over. To be fair, Crimson Desert does have visual and physics that look almost too good to be true. We've all been burned before. With Crimson Desert, the scale from skydiving to giant battles makes it feel like the game is doing the work of 3 engines at once, which, as I mentioned before, is a problem with the game's identity. People are excited, but also skeptical, and both reactions are totally fair. Pearl Abyss is known for incredible graphics, but but also for games that don't always match their trailers one-to-one. So the big question is, can Crimson Desert deliver everything it's promising? And unfortunately, we won't know until it launches, but at least we know how it got here. So here's what stands out the most to me. This game exists because the developers refused to release something they didn't believe in. Most studios would have shipped the MMO, marketed it hard, and hoped for the best. Instead, they took a massive financial risk and rebuilt the entire thing. And that's why the modern version feels different. It's not just an ambitious RPG, it's a reaction to a project that totally lost its identity. This new version has weight, it has personality, it has direction. It finally feels like a game the team wanted to make, and I hope it lives up to the hype. I'm going in optimistically. So yeah, Crimson Desert wasn't supposed to look like this. The first version was an MMO prequel that probably would have been forgotten within a year. But instead of sticking to the save plan, the developers tore the whole thing down and rebuilt it from scratch. And whether the final game lives up to the hype or not, you can't deny the transformation is wild. What started as a side project turned into one of the most talked about RPGs in years, and honestly, that might be the most interesting part of the entire story. Thank you for watching, and again, if you enjoy videos about Forgotten First versions of games, please subscribe. I've got plenty more coming soon.